Section 5, Unit 2, Slope, Intercepts, and Linear Equations. Iridium Tutoring, Ltd.
So go over the slope first. The slope of a line is determined by how steep a line is. So think of it as the steepness of a mountain, which is the slope. So the steepness of a mountain is like the slope. And to determine the exact slope of a linear equation, use rise over 1 over run, which is y over x, the change in y over change in x. In other words, find how much the y value rises in a certain amount of x value, or run. So this is the equation to find the slope. If a line is vertical, its slope is undefined, and if a line is horizontal, its slope is 0. So here's an example of slope. I'll annotate. Okay, so find the slope of the line given on the right. And we'll use the rise over run method, which is change in y over change in x. So this is the change in x, and this is the change in y. To find it, it would be change in y over change in x. So y is 3, which is 3 over x. Change in x is 1, which equals 3. That's the slope over here. So some tips on finding slope. Given 2 points, x1 and y1, and x2 and y2, the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is just really another form for the slope formula. So another tip is to choose points with integer coordinates so the slope is easily solvable. So integer coordinates, it's better to use whole numbers rather than decimals because it would be harder to solve with decimals and fractions. And also, make sure you keep the signs of the integers when you plug into the equation. So for example, if you plug -1 into rise over run equation, don't forget to add -1 to the 1. Okay.
There are four main types of slope. The first is called an uphill slope. As you can see in the graph to the left, it goes from left to right in an upwards fashion. It is also known as a positive slope. You can think of it as a skier going up a mountain. The next slope is a downhill slope. This goes left to right in a downwards fashion, also known as a negative slope. You can think of it as a skier going down a mountain. The third type of slope is a horizontal slope. This slope is a horizontal line, and the slope would be equal to 0. You can think of it as a skier being able to ski on a horizontal line, but he would be having 0 fun. The final example is a vertical line. A vertical a vertical slope is a vertical line, and the slope is undefined. A skier would be unable to ski on a vertical line slope.
So x-intercepts. The x-intercept is where the line on the coordinate plane crosses the x-axis. And so basically think of this. This is the x-axis right here. And this is the line which is intercepting the x-axis. So the part where both the x-axis and the line intercept is called the x-intercept. And it is written in the form x comma 0, since the y value along the x-axis is always 0. And y-intercepts. The y-intercept is the point in which the point in the line crosses the y-axis. Note, for linear equations, there is only one y-intercept. The y-intercept is written in the form 0, comma y value because at that point, the x value will always be 0. So this is the y-axis right here. I'll annotate. So this is the y-axis right here, the line down here, right here. So this is the line right here, and they're intersecting at this point, which is also called the y-intercept. And the coordinates for this is 0, comma 2. types of linear equations. So there are three types of linear equations. The first one is called point-slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. And x1 and y1 are the x and y coordinates of a given point on the line. And second type is slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the y coordinate of the y-intercept. And the third type of linear equation is the standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. We'll go over all of these types of linear equations next. So the first type of linear equations is the point-slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1, where y1 and x1 are the coordinates of a given point on the line. So we can see that the slope is -3, which is rise over run. And so I'll annotate this. So the rise over run, so the y, first get the rise, which is -3, over -1, which is the x, change in x. So the slope is -3. Sorry for this. This is 3. Because -3 and -1 cross out to get 3. So it'll be +3. So we choose a point 1, 1, and this could be any point on the line. So this line could be any point. Sorry, I'll clear out the drawings. So any point on this line, coordinate, and you can choose any point. So thus our point slope form equation of this line is y minus y1 is the is this of this coordinate of this point, and the second one is -3 parentheses x minus 1, and this is x. So this is 1 right here. That's the point, the x of the point. Okay.
Just a quick correction. That would not be -3. As we said, the slope is actually 3, not -3. That's a mistake on our part. So in reality, it would be y minus 1 is equal to 3 times x minus 1.
Okay. So the second type of linear equation is the slope-intercept form. So the equation is y equals mx plus b. So m is basically the slope, and b is the y-intercept. So you can see that the slope is 2 from the rise over run, 2 over 1, which equals 2. Next, we find the y-intercept because the value b represents the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 3 right here. So 3, 0, 3. And then so we finally put the slope variable m, which is 2 right here, into right here. And then plus 3, which is the y-intercept. And this will be the equation for the slope-intercept form. Final type is the standard form, and it's an equation ax plus by equals c. The standard form is useful for quickly finding the x-intercept and y-intercept. To find out x-intercept, substitute y for 0. For example, if equation 9x plus 16y equals 72, we substitute y equals 0, so y for 0. So it would be 9x plus 16 times 0 equals 72, which would go to 9x equals 72 because 16 times 0 equals 0. So we wouldn't include this. 72, 9x equals 72, then if you divide them both by 9 on both sides, x would equals 8. So the x-intercept is 8, 0. And to find a y-intercept, you substitute x for 0 to find a y-intercept. So remember that when you find the x-intercept, you substitute y for 0. You substitute y for 0. And when you find the y-intercept, you substitute x for 0. So for example, 3x plus 5y equals 15. you substitute x for 0, so it would be 3 times 0 plus 5y equals 15. And then, so 3 times 0 equals 0, so you would include this into the next part. 5y equals 15, and divide 5 by both sides. Y equals 3. So the y-intercept is 0, 3. So here is some practice that you can do, and pause the video to work if you want to work on them, and also the answers right after this. So here are the answers to the practice problems, and thank you.